Marcel Kittel was the best sprinter in the world. The most dazzling, most spectacular, and the most explosive. But overnight, the German faded into the shadow. What happened to the German powerhouse? Marcel Kittel started his career as a time trialist. In the juniors category he became a double world champion time trial, something only Fabian Cancellara and Michael Ignatieff had achieved before. But after he won a mass sprint in the Tour de Langkawi, he and his team, Skill Shimano, decided to target sprint stages. That resulted in him winning 4 stages in the 4 days of Dunkirk, and he won another 4 stages in the Tour de Pologne. That earned Neerprof a place in the Vuelta squad at just 23 years of age. He went on to do the unthinkable in that Vuelta. In the 7th stage, he beat the likes of Peter Sagan, Oscar Freire and Daniele Benatti for the stage win. A new top sprinter was born, Marcel Kittel. In 4 very successful seasons with Giant Shimano, Kittel would go and win 8 stages in the Tour de France and 2 in the Giro d'Italia. The by the time world-class sprinter moved to Quick-Step, where his success continued. He won another 2 stages in the Giro and a whopping 6 stages in the Tour de France, putting his total at 14 wins in the Tour. After 2 seasons at Quick-Step, he decided to jump ships to Katusha Alpecin, as they were able to pay more for his services. The once so mighty sprinter was never able to lit up the sprints anymore for his new team. But what caused this? Kittel started his 2018 season in the desert. In both Abu Dhabi and the Dubai Tour, his lead-out train was all over the place. Combined with a bad form, he wasn't able to win. However, in the Tirreno, Marcel showed a glance of his old form, beating Sagan, Nizzolo and Modolo twice. Everything seemed to be okay as he headed to the Tour of California, which would be a real sprinter showdown between the likes of Sagan, Gaviria, Ewan and Cavendish. On the first stage he was able to sprint. However, he was beaten by 3 of the just listed names. The only one he left in the dust was a struggling Cavendish. The whole 2018 season had exposed Kittel to a world of sprinting he hadn't seen before, one without a functioning lead-out train. After the Tour of California, Kittel went to the Tour de France. The first stage was flat, so it would most likely end in a mass sprint, an ideal opportunity for him to take his 3rd yellow jersey, but he came a disappointing 3rd. But this wasn't all down to him not being fast enough, it was mainly down to bad positioning that was caused by the previously mentioned dysfunctional lead-out train. The tension started to rise in the camp of Katusha Alpecin. The Russian director sportif Konyshev said the following to the press.
Maybe he isn't at 100%. Maybe he's missing his train from last year, because we have half the team for Ilnur and half the team for him. Normally at a big race, it's easier when you only have one leader. It is difficult to ask Pavel Kochetkov and Ian Boswell to help in the finale. It's not possible. We have 2 leaders and we almost need to split the team into 2 parts. But you can see the team works very good for it, so you cannot complain about this. Normally he is a very good sprinter, but something does not work for the moment.
When Konyshev later was asked about his comments, he tried to play them down, but it was for everyone to see that they were real. There was a lack of team spirit which caused Kittel not getting the full confidence of the squad. He showed his sprinting powers one last time in Sarzeau, where he came again from a bad position but still managed to sprint to a 5th place. A few days later, on the 11th stage, he would come outside of the time limit in La Rochère and his Tour de France was over. The DNF he had collected here marked the beginning of a sad end of his career. A month after the Grand Boucle, Kittel could be found on the start line of the Bingpong Tour. There he would get outsprinted by rising star Fabio Jakobsen. To make things even worse, that was the only stage where he managed to be in the mix for the stage win, before he withdrew from the race. Kittel rode his last race of the season in his home country, Germany. Here he continued his trend of having to give up early. After finishing 109th in the first stage, he didn't start the following day because he had been feeling ill throughout the week. The 2019 season would be kicked off with some Spanish one-day races for Kittel. He had a really promising start as he won the Trofeo Palma and finished 2nd to Ackermann in Almeria. In his first World Tour race of the year, the UAE Tour, we would see a showdown between some of the best sprinters in the world. During the 2nd stage, his lead-out train got past left, right and centre. Despite that, he finished 8th. In the 5th stage, he positioned himself really well and came really close to winning the stage. He ended 3rd. The struggle continued in Paris-Nice. Here, in none of the 3 stages he finished, he got to sprint for the win. He had another disappointing race in the Putten, and then it was time for the Scheldeprijs, a race he had won 5 times in a row. As it turns out, this had been the last race of Marcel Kittel his impressive career. A month later, the news came out Marcel Kittel had left Team Katusha. The summer was filled with rumors of Kittel joining new teams. He wouldn't demand high wages or a place in a Grand Tour team, he just wanted to have fun on the bike again. After again a few more weeks filled with new rumors, Kittel made the decision it was over. There would be no more cycling for him. How could it have come that far? The main reason for Kittel to stop is a lack of motivation, something that's completely understandable. As a rider, he digs deep every day in training, and if the results aren't there, what is he doing it for? He's also away from home a lot, and with his girlfriend being pregnant, he would rather spend time with his kid and girlfriend at home than travel around the world to race his bike.
What do you do, except the Tour de France?
I ride other races.
You?
Yeah, I'm a professional cyclist in the team, and I'm
okay.
a whole year on the road actually with the team.
Some other reasons for him to retire were frustration about the bad results whilst not knowing the cause of them, a possible lingering injury from the Tour de France where he won 5 stages but crashed out, also Katusha not showing the 100% support he had gotten at Quickstep and at Giant Shimano could have influenced his decision. What will you remember Kittel's career from? And most important, will you miss him? Let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.